we take a step back to see the day from the parents' perspective. Are they evil or just kinda evil? It's Marvel's Runaways, Season 1, Episode 2. Rewind. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to our continuing review of Season 1 of Runaways. So yes, of course, lots of spoilers are coming your way. Alright, in Episode 2, Rewind takes up pretty much right after Episode 1, which is sort of a great transition. I love all the kids scrambling to get up, the competition to open up the secret door. I love Chase getting on Alex like, you just need some upper body strength, and then he's not doing it. And then, of course, Molly pops up with her super strength, just throws it all open. Alex, very smart idea, throwing all of the breakers to make it look like a transformer or something had blown. But really what we're looking at here is the kids really scrambling for an explanation beyond what they just saw. And again, this is part of the great humanity, the great point that the show is looking at is very naturalistic, is after seeing that, yeah, you're going to make excuses. Nobody wants to believe their parents are actually evil. They could have actually committed such an act. So I love that kind of setup as they start to sort of try and figure things out, and that's really what's going on for the next couple of episodes. Meanwhile, and I think this was a brilliant idea, we get to replay that previous day, but all from the parents' perspective. And I think this is a great job of kind of showing us the other side, and really more to the point of that the parents, while they may be committing evil acts, aren't necessarily, well, okay, I can't necessarily say that they're not necessarily evil, they're committing evil acts, but there's a great human side to each of them, and in some ways even compassion and caring. They're just willing to make choices that other people aren't. We've got Janet, Mama Stein there, having an affair with somebody we don't get to see yet. That does get revealed. And obviously that's a response to the tension between that relationship, because Frank really is, he's an a-hole. He is. We're seeing that there's definitely some issues going on with the cast, and then he's the brain power kind of behind the Pride group. But we're seeing their relationship also, again, even as Janet's trying to be supportive of Frank, he is still sort of pushing away. So really an arrogant a-hole kind of all the way. Also kind of an a-hole is Nico's mom, Tina, who is obsessed with protecting Amy's room. I mean, really obsessed, to the point of sealing her husband, Roger, inside the room. I said you had to get out. And I love his responses. It's even worrying. It's just kind of like, yeah, that's real mature, Tina. We're going to lose both our daughters this way. And I think that's another, again, we're getting some insight here that Amy's disappearance may have something a little bit more connected with what's going on with the Pride. We don't, again, we're dripping little bits of information through here, but definitely seeing that definitely feels like there is some definitive tie that went on. Even Leslie, we've seen a little bit of compassion on her side, while she is the one pulling in Destiny and getting her ready for exposure to go ultraviolet, and I think, or ultra, which I think is that the Gaborum term for when you're going to be a little victim there? That's what it seems to play at. But when Destiny reveals the fact that she has a kid and she wants to go back, she wants to be that mother, she wants to take these teachings and really doesn't want to miss another birthday. We even see with Leslie right there is, but you weren't supposed to have anyone, that there's almost a reticence for a moment about pulling Destiny in and using her as a sacrifice. Again, it passes quickly, but we do get to see, again, there are compassionate sides. None of these people are really truly evil. The Wilders, great relationship going on here. A little background into Jeffrey here, coming from more of a gang banging background, and that's starting to rise up in this episode. This is where we meet Darius, who is trying to use a little bit of muscle over the Wilders' latest real estate project to extort a little cash, or at least that's what it seems like. And this is another scene I thought that was set very well. I mean, it shows from Jeffrey's standpoint that he's trying to get beyond where he had came from. But it also shows that he's more than willing to dive back into some of that darkness, especially pulls out, was it Grandma's house on video. It's like, man, she had the best chicken recipe. Well, you better cut this out or her recipe's going to be the only thing left of Grandma. Very dark, very deep. And we're seeing, of course, part of this is not only is this treading on Jeffrey's real estate gig, but this real estate project is part of the Pride. Again, we're seeing a larger picture of what the Pride is going on, that there's a bigger plan more than just sacrifices for them. The great thing I liked about the Darius scene, though, was, one, we're getting that insight into Jeffrey's background, but two, that Darius isn't just a gangbanger. He isn't just playing for money here. I think if Jeffrey had brought him some cash, that would have been a nice bonus, but I don't think that was ever his actual plan. I think the plan was all along just to get the data off of the phone, which I thought was perfectly well done, because as we have these two men sort of playing off and throwing their things down and who is tougher and who owns the streets and who allowed everyone to own the street, in the meantime, the whole time, Darius's real plan, I believe, which is holding on to that phone and just copying all the data onto it, I thought was just, again, it's a great way of adding dimension to characters. These aren't just rote characterization. It's not just a gangbanger. It's not just the next gangbanger. It's not this. Everybody's smart. Everybody has a plan, and everybody has multiple plans going on. We also get a little glimpse down at what's going on in the York's basement, the little project that Dale and Stacy are working on. Little dino action. It's really looking forward to seeing. And again, I love how we are slowly sort of setting up what each family brings to it, and therefore what each kid is going to have access to and is going to be able to play with, sort of moving forward powers-wise and such. So I enjoy that. Find out all of these sacrifices have to be 17 years old, which is the age all of the kids are right now. Which, again, is what I believe Amy was 2 years ago, which is why I'm suspecting certain things, but we don't get a lot of insight in off of this. What we do see is that the casket hasn't been working. That's something that Frank was sort of dealing with. And I love, after the whole thing kind of goes down in the basement, that's where we get kind of our first scary side of things not moving perfectly well for the Pride. Not only did they potentially have the kids realizing what's going on, but the casket's not working. Frank was kind of pushing that aside, but when we get sort of banging on the casket afterwards and everyone's gone, that's kind of creepy. Which again is just, I love the atmosphere that they're sort of setting up, giving us a basis and sort of slowly building things onto them. Now we also get insight in this episode into what the whole ritual was about, and that does seem to be focused around Leslie's father. That the chest seems to be, in a way, is it transferring the essence of the sacrifice into her father to try and sort of reinvigorate him, give him his life back, cure disease, whatever the heck is going on with that pasty, old, fallen apart, scary, nightmare, sci-fi dad guy. All wrong. Speaking of Leslie, I love the relationship between Leslie and Frank. More to the point is that everybody else in the Pride is a couple. Leslie is the only one that's by herself, and Frank has nothing to do with it, not aware of anything. He doesn't seem to be all with it. Not a particularly bright individual, not particularly dark either. Maybe selfish, but an actor, his career is going down. He's looking for something else. So I love him sort of pushing around, trying to get into Leslie's meditation room, which of course he can't get into because that's where Dad is, getting ready to absorb all of the youthful energy. And the fact that security isn't even letting Frank in the room there. It's like, no, that's the quiet part, and you know how much I listen to your wife's rules and everything, so you gotta go. Frank's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. And I love him like pushing to go ultra. I don't think he entirely understands what that might entail. But yeah, overall, really with this episode, we do. It's a nice flashback to see the day from the parents' perspective, get us all that little extra information, what's going on, what's driving them, and then continuing it on with then wrapping up the kids who have now vowed to, we are going to find out what is going on. We're going to meet in the morning. The only downside is, and again, this is a personal thing with me. I get it. The end of episodes, singing and song and stuff, I get tired of. It's all over shows. So we've got Gert singing to Molly. I mean, it's understandable. Molly's a little freaked out. Gert's going to help comfort her with singing the old song. But through this, we do get a nice little future connection because, of course, who is listening to Gert singing down in the basement but our dinosaur, who seems to be quite entranced with Gert singing, and I think this is where we're going to see sort of a connection between Gert and the dino. So we're getting chased with the gloves. Nico's going to get her mom's staff. Don't really know what Alex does. Carolina glows, Molly's got strength, and Gert controls a dinosaur. So we're putting together a nice little group here. Just all the pieces, not quite there yet. Oh, and one other little thing. The Yerkes discussion in their car when they've got the BMW or something behind them honking. It makes the content, the greener the car, the bigger the a-hole. Sadly, that does seem to be true. People that have environmentally friendly cars think they're better than other people and often act that way. Again, stereotypical, sad, but also kind of true. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap things up. So as always, if you did enjoy this review, go ahead and hit that like button. Thoughts, ideas, and comments, section below. Right here, you can catch me on the Twitter and the Instagram at Darren Jakes. Subscribe with this button right here. That's the one. And check out some of our latest reviews right here. So, that's it for me. I'm D, and I'm out of here. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.